Moving forward, it's time to move to our next panel, which is the 4 pillars of unified customer experience management, a concept that was coined by Konnect Insights, and our founder, Mr. Samir, has also spoken about it during his keynote address in the start. To elaborate more on that, I would like to once again call Mr. Samir Narkar, founder and CEO, Konnect Insights. Joining them, we have Mr. Mrugesh Soni from Yellow.ai, Ms. Rimjhim Ray, Vice President Marketing, MyOperator, Mr. Krishanth Thangarajah, Senior Director, Head of Partnerships, Yellow.ai, who will moderate this panel.
Hey, good evening, everyone. What a lovely evening today. I hope all of you are having fun. Well, I'm Krishanth, ex-Freshworks, currently at Yellow.ai. And of course, I'll be moving out of Yellow.ai as well in a couple of months. But nevertheless, I will be your moderator. Over here, I'll be introducing your panel here. Samir, no introductions needed, right? I hope everybody knows Samir here. And then we have Mrugesh. Mrugesh is the Chief Evangelist Solution Expert at Yellow.ai. And you have Rimjhim. Thanks to Rimjhim, she's actually unwell and she has come all the way from Calcutta just for this session. Thank you so much. She comes from MyOperator. Rimjhim is VP of Marketing at MyOperator. MyOperator, in fact, has been directly working with telecom operators in India and have devised solutions, thereby taking the entire call center space to working towards the betterment of the call center space. So, we are delighted that we have you, Rimjhim. Great. Now, while Samir was talking about 4 pillars, a little earlier today in the evening, let's hear a little more from him on, just could you summarize about the 4 pillars?
So yeah, we spoke about 4 pillars of unified customer experience. I think I did that twice or thrice during my keynote. This will be a repeat again. So, the chatbots and the call center play a major role in unifying the customer care. What I was talking to someone, in fact, Mrugesh earlier, that back in 2014 or so, we had the effort of telling people, why do you need social listening? That's not the case today. Everybody knows that we need to have social listening. We need to have a unified customer to engage with the customers. But in today's time, the efforts that we have to inform our customers is that you can go beyond the products that you see. What brands do is they have a product like Konnect Insights, which is social listening, analytics, all that stuff. Earlier, that was also siloed. You had multiple products for it, where you had something for social listening separately, something for ORM separately, something for social analytics separately, something for social publishing separately. They knew that problem, that these products have to come together. Konnect Insights solved that problem. But beyond that, there is more that you can integrate. We at Konnect don't look at channels, separate channels, and then we will provide this many channels, others will provide this many channels. We look at unifying customer care. All the time that we talk in our offices, there is one customer, there is one brand. You have to unify all the channels into one tool. And for that, call center, chatbots, and emails play a major role. And that's why we have someone from MyOperator who will explain all these things, from Yellow who will explain about chatbots. And I am filling the gap that was supposed to be done by Kshitij from Delhi Airport, because that's one brand which has really gone ahead and integrated all the channels together. And they're true winners of 4 pillars of unified customer experience. So with these events and going forward also, our story is don't look at social chats, call centers, emails separately. They're all in one, because the customers don't expect you to, not know about them. They want you to know whether you're coming from, any given channel. So yes, we complete the story. All of us complete the story.
Thanks, Samir. talking about channels, social media is really important, right? I guess all of us here have interacted with some brand or the other, and all of us use WhatsApp, pretty much 100% all of us. So, Samir, could you actually talk about the influence of social media and how we should kind of take care of social media, thereby kind of working on a complete customer experience management?
See, the thing with social media is, when you write something on social media, unlike email, probably is that you're not one on one, right? You're announcing to the world that you're telling the brand, see, I have a problem, but you know what? Please, everybody, listen to that as well. So you're actually announcing it to millions of people who are there. And the turnaround times, that's why on social is also less than 10 minutes. So many brands are here, they have an SLAs of 10 minutes on social media. So social plays a role over there. And then brands usually do is that they take the conversation private, and every social media channel has a private aspect to it, like Instagram has it, Twitter has it, Facebook has it. So they take it there. But then you cannot really ask customer to only come on one channel all the time. He might come on email, he might come on chat, he might come on call center, and that's why unifying all these channels are important. Social, of course, has its role to play, and there are so many channels from which they come. So social media has two aspects to it. One is when you write a query to someone, to a brand, saying that you have a problem, they look at it two ways. One is the urgent and important one, that you have to resolve the query quickly and close that ticket. Okay. The other aspect is, how many people talk about this aspect. So if I take an example of Zomato, let's say, how many people talk about delivery? There is other team that works on it. Maybe they work on our product, say once a day. Someone else works 24/7. But the social conversation has two aspects. One is urgent and important. The other one is important, but not so urgent. Important because you then can look at those insights and learn from it and improve your services over there. There are so many use cases, where social media interactions have helped you to get better at your services, to get better at your product.
Thanks, Samit. You spoke about call center, contact center solutions, right? Calling is here to stay. While people say that social media is there are other channels where customers can reach out to you. Calling is here to stay. In fact, that's one channel by which customers can talk to you live, right? And that channel is never going to go. And in fact, Rimjhim was just talking about, we were just talking about solutions that are specific for SMB, specific for mid-market and enterprise solutions. So over to you, Rimjhim. Can you share your thoughts on this?
Yeah, sure. So, we are a nation of billion people, and we are a very noisy nation, Just look at one of our cricket matches, that kind of noises we make. We're not quiet people. We love talking. And when we love talking among each other, we also love talking to the brands. So at MyOperator, we keep talking about a term. We call it conversational commerce. We believe that most of your commercial transactions start with a conversation, led by voice, but then increasingly also chat and WhatsApp. We are the largest WhatsApp users, by the way. We've already surpassed USA and even Brazil. So this is where our call center really becomes important. So when you have people talking, you also have to listen to them. This is where voice becomes a very important part of your sales process, of your customer care process, of even your marketing process. If people have to reach out to you, and they have to have an easy way of reaching out to you, and how do you make sure that that you're providing the right technology, you're able to cater to the calls. We have got customers using us, customers as huge as Amazon and Myntra, and they're getting thousands of calls every day. Now, how do you provide them the right robust solution? So traditionally, we have had, of course, desk-based call centers. Right now, the world is moving to cloud. So we talk about cloud-based call centers, so where your agents can be remote, they can be taking calls from anywhere. Especially after COVID, we see that the world has moved remote. So, again, so while we talk about social, while we talk about web, and there was an interesting stat I was just sharing with Krishanth just outside while we're having coffee. India has got about 6 crore MSMEs. And we're seeing looking at the digital adoption curve of these MSMEs, because it's a very important segment for us. We saw that about 80 lakhs, of less than a crore people are really, really digitally evolved. So when I say digitally evolved, they have, something sophisticated as CRM. They have sophisticated things like e-commerce or, using more sophisticated digital channels. But 5 crore out of the 6 crore people, that's obviously over 80%, have a smartphone. all of them mostly are using some form of chat, mostly WhatsApp, it's become the preferred solution. So with such a hoping, kind of access, especially mobile has democratized this entire communication process. Now even your smallest SMBs or, even a mid-level company, and even the smallest of your customers, people across, whether they stay in tier 2 cities or in villages, they probably have a smartphone, and they have, thanks to 4G and now 5G, they have an internet connection. They can reach you through voice, they can reach you through WhatsApp. This is where, integrating voice, and I'm really excited to hear Samir speak about it. So I come from an agency background, I come from a I've come from a primarily tech and then moved into marketing, work with a lot of marketing automation software. We talk about social, we talk about web, but we often leave out this very important part of voice. I was so excited to hear, I was telling Krishan, I was so excited to hear one marketing automation company that's talking about, bringing also voice together. That's the most basic form of human communication. You get up in the morning, you need a cup of tea from your mom, you don't text her, you tell her. And that's and it's not that your behavior will suddenly change when you're talking to brands. If there's a way of chatting with brands or talking to brands, you probably take that. This is where, as I said, voice is one of the most basic ways that we communicate. And it's very important that you have calls as part of your marketing, your sales, and your customer care solution. And you have the right robust call center tech to handle all those millions of conversations happening all around.
Thanks, Rimjhim. You make me a little guilty because I message my mom when I need something. But yeah, cool. So Rimjhim made an important point, right? About live interactions. It has to be on voice. Well, of course, there is live chat too, right? But again, you can't have all the agents talk to you every time. So live chat, again, is not feasible. That's when conversational AI comes in, right? Of course, there are chatbot solutions. Samir spoke about having, he did not like things getting automated 3 years ago, because 3 years ago it was just chatbots, and today it's conversational AI. I'll pass it on to Mrugesh. Mrugesh, before you talk about how conversational AI has disrupted this space, it'll be great if you could actually differentiate between chatbots and conversational AI.
Actually, the difference is very simple. It's about somebody who doesn't know you in the room versus your friend at some level. Chatbots or any conversations per se, right, so when you have a chat with somebody out here, you're going to get 2 or 3 more insights about the user. The normal data rate that comes in is about 4 or 5 data inputs per minute that you get from the user, which you will never get from a feedback form, which you will never get from an IVR call or anywhere else. Now, the differentiation in this is that when you interact with the user intelligently, addressing him or her by their name to start with as basics, if you know their gender possibly, and you're able to curate that conversation towards what they're intending to come for. We call that CLIR, which is context-led intelligent redirection. Rather than asking them, what's your name, what do you want to do, where do you want to go, you have lost him in that first 3 seconds, 5 seconds per se. Now, the problem between intelligent and dumb chatbots is us. Because we think technology is going to start working on its own. Your car, your Alexa, your Google Home is not going to realize your name till you teach it. And brands like yourself, agencies like yourself are working towards defining bots that are fed with data from conversations. In fact, we realize humans are lazy. So we are discovering something called as conversation mining, which understands something that you write over time, the way you interact with the contact center over time, the emails that you write or the chats that you essentially have, to realize your pattern of writing and what do you intend to mean from it. Now, once you collect that much intelligence, it is always nice when instead of on your phone call where the bot tells you, can you type your PIN code number versus it asking you about it? And when you're basically on a specific chatbot, it addresses you by your name and says, hey, welcome back, Mr. X or Mrs. Y. Now, the intelligence comes from that simple aspect. Great to have you back. Your last order is ready here. And that at least gives you some delight to go forward. That is the basic form of intelligence between a dumb bot and intelligent bot at some level.
Thanks, Mrugesh. So how do you see conversational AI disrupting this space?
Well, unfortunately, there is no option for any of you to not adopt it. Ashish spoke about how Google is talking about bringing the bot to every device. 98% of India is Android. at least. And there are 11 products of Google that are sitting on an Android device, from your maps to your search to your shopping to your search. So you start with search, right? If at search you have a bot interacting with you, you are going to give it 3 data points, which is intended for your goal. So your bot is sitting there. And as a brand, the approach is going to be very simple. If you have a business, you have a retail address, you have a customer support, you have marketing, and you run ads, why would you not bring that together into one single power, which is the bot? And this bot will need to get intelligent to be able to answer all those queries. So your bot is sitting on Google. Your bots are sitting on Meta's platforms, Insta, WhatsApp. All of you can Google WhatsApp and TechCrunch if you want on your phones and see the 4th article there, which is going to be talking about WhatsApp introducing business directories on phones. So which means you may not need to search on Google. You may need to search on WhatsApp for the brand, for its product catalog, its customer support and marketing. Apple has stopped tracking you. All of you using Apple devices must be seeing stop tracking me per se, right? Data is going to sit in these 3 ecosystems. And to be able to become intelligent with time, they are going to drive you as a behavior to use a bot. And with WhatsApp Pay, Google Pay becoming the norm per se, and that becoming as part of your daily ecosystems, it is going to be a normal ecosystem where you're going to walk up, and we are working with brands to talk to a car, to talk to an ATM, and to be able to speak to anything and get that back with 5G economy coming in. So it is going to disrupt, maybe in 1 year, maybe in 2 years.
Thanks, Mrugesh. There is a company called Help Scout, a competitor of Zendesk, Freshdesk. They have run a survey across 8,000 of their customers. And with that study, they found out that, customers who, you can solve customers' problems across any channel, live chat, including conversational AI or live chat. Customers have, a higher probability to kind of rate you positively via that channel, right? So live chat, conversational AI are important channels. It can work for you positively. Of course, if a chatbot is not going to give you the answer that you want, it is going to frustrate you more than any other channel. And at the same time, if you do it right, that's the channel that's going to help you get positive feedback from customers. The other channel, which is the most important channel and the boring channel, which is what I'll handle, which is email, right? Like all of us kind of use email in our office, obviously. And pretty much, for asynchronous conversations, we still use emails, right? According to HubSpot agencies, around 80% of the agencies feel that email is still the topmost channel that they prefer, right? When they send the right kind of messaging, because it's not live, it's not instant. When the customer has time, he's going to see those messages. And if he wants something, he wants things in details, email is the best channel, right? So you can kind of focus on any other channel, but at the same time, email still works, and email is an important channel. Of course, we spoke about primary channels, 4 pillars. Now, how do you implement this, right? I mean, I'm sure in most of your organizations, you'll have dedicated teams taking care of social channels, dedicated teams taking care of maybe emails. Instead of an omni-channel, a multi-channel strategy never works, right? Think about it. There's a stats by Freshworks where they say that around 67% of the customers will reach out to you in a minimum of 3 channels. Think about it. When you kind of write to a brand over email, and then you call them, and then you message them on WhatsApp, in 3 different channels, the agent again asks you to repeat everything, then of course that's going to be poor customer experience, right? So how do we actually bring all these together? How do you actually implement 4 pillars for your organization to be successful? Samir, probably we can start from you.
See, we spoke about all the channels from where we need to listen to the customers. What is also important is your CRMs should also be integrated. And if you're already using some CRMs, then look for a product that can integrate with it, because changing CRMs is difficult. We have worked with Freshworks so many times, me and Krishanth in the past, and we work with Salesforce, we work with Microsoft Dynamics, Zendesk. And if at all you have an email channel where you are managing that from your CRM, please go ahead and integrate that with other channels that can bring that data together. And data should flow in from one system to other systems. You need to have those object level mapping. You need to have the status managed in both systems. And for past 2 years we've been working on that. We have very solid CRM integrations built with this idea that if someone wants to use any other CRM that they're using, then they let not migrate them onto Konnect Insights. Bring in all social channels, bring chats, bring call centers, and let them use those CRMs where data can push from Konnect to those CRMs and also come back here. So at the end of the day, the agents working on any given platform still should have one view. Like whatever data is available in Salesforce, can that come back to Konnect Insights? Whatever data is in Konnect Insights, can that go back to Salesforce? And if the ticket is closed over there, can the status message appear here? Can we do object level mapping so we know that this is the same customer, and then see the entire history in any given platforms? So even though you're using two systems, it should really feel like it's one platform that we are using. And at the end of the day, I'll keep on repeating, it's one customer, one brand, and you need to unify all the tools, so it's one tool at the end of the day.
Thanks, Samir. Mrugesh, your thoughts here?
So the vision is absolutely bang on, right? The reality, though, again, like I say, it is nice to come to these kind of conferences here, go back, and then say we'll see next year what we want to do. But the day you are basically asked to create your marketing plan, your media plan, you are going to say, okay, which is the cohort that I need to target? What do I need to address? Which is the top deflection that I need to handle? And that reality is only going to be possible when you merge these four pillars. Where we at least are going towards is creating a conversational marketing cloud that talks to an ORM engine, that talks to a CRM, talks to a CDP, and then lands the entire tickets back into a system like Konnect to ensure there's a single source of truth. Now, you'll have to see where your customer is essentially sitting. Is that system of data extraction intelligent? Every customer who's irate is also a data point for you. Every customer who is irate can be converted to save 2 more customers if he's managed correctly. And every customer who's irate, if his ticket is managed within the first 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, is going to save you that much more revenue back. But how do you bring that system in together? What you have to go back and think through and create a blueprint with your IT and marketing and data teams is, where do you consolidate? Who brings that thing together? Eventually, in about a year's time, you will have more job roles that are going to be elevated beyond the data scientist per se, right? Who understand who is handling your omni-channel strategy in your organization. Now, is that somebody like you in this room? Is that the agency who's managing the data and is across all these channels? Or is that you skilling up your platforms to make it omni-channel? That's something that you need to go back and decide. And where we are going to come in together as partners with us and them and the CDPs, etc., is to always make that platform intelligent. Extraction of the data is in your hand, and connecting those platforms is in your hand. You don't do that, you'll still have silos. You'll still basically fall back in a scenario where you'll take half a year to a year to bring the data back together into a single system. So take that action, even if it is a basic one starting in 2023. And you'll reach a stage by mid of the year to say this is at least in place. And then I will take every channel one by one to make it a complete unified experience and to have we call it a mind map of a customer at some level. See if you can reach that stage per se. That is what we are doing here.
Thank you, Mrugesh. Rimjhim, your thoughts?
All right, so just I'll share a kind of an anecdote here. So I was at IIM Bangalore a couple of weeks back. I was talking to those very early stage entrepreneurs at IIM Bangalore Incubus, and these obviously very enthusiastic people. When you are a founder, you want to implement everything. They were like, we're investing in this tech, that tech, etc., etc. I was like, don't do any of those things. Most of these things are free. If you invest in one thing, invest in a CRM. So agreeing with you, so that's the first thing. The moment you have some money, invest in a CRM, and that's one investment that you are going to basically reap the ROI on. It might not be evident at this point of time, but believe me, an year down the line, you're going to thank me. But at the end of the day, what we took away from the various keynotes today, be it the Google keynote or what Samir spoke about, is the segment of one, right? You have to converge to that segment of one. We often think marketing is a volume game. In fact, we always think this, right? We want millions of people visiting our site. We want to be have millions of people filling up our lead forms. No, marketing is a precision game. Million people coming to you, not finding what they want, or you bombarding a million people, spraying and praying, boasting about, we send out 1 million emails every week. Netcore would be thanking you, no one else would be. Your customer wouldn't be thanking you, because you're probably sending out, irrelevant messages to most of them. This is something I often tell my team: don't send out a million emails. I'm not interested, but just tell me, how many of the people are actually opening and clicking through. Send out 100, but tell me that 70% people are opening it. Or or if you're sending out a message or WhatsApp message, if you're doing a call-based campaign, say that 70% people are responding to you. Then I know we are telling the right thing to the right people. If you're spraying and praying, and at the end of the day, you just have an unsubscribers at the end of at the end of it. So it's very important that to identify this, the segment of one. You need a proper CRM. You make sure that you're not making that person repeat things. You actually understand, and then starting from the segment of one, you build out. Then you have your cohorts, right? You understand, you segment them by, say, industry or by spending patterns, or the background that they come from. It's an SMB, it's an enterprise. All of their problem statements are different. All of the problems that have come to you for are different. If our messaging to them, the way we treat them is very horizontal, you're not really solving their problem. You're treating them very generically. So it's very, I think, this convergence of these channels to understand, to have that unified view of the customer, to understand who he or she really is, and to talk to him in a way that makes sense to him, present in the solution that is relevant. That is the final aim of any product or any service at the end of the day. You have to be solving, the customer comes to you with a specific problem. Doesn't matter if there are millions like him, and at the end of the day, it's always what's in it for me. If you can identify that, you have probably won your marketing game there. As I said, it's not a volume game, it's a precision game.
Thanks, Rimjhim. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, reducing customer efforts is the biggest factor that can drive customer loyalty. So whatever you do, investing in customer service is definitely worth it. Investing in something that's omni-channel is definitely worth it. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for the panel, we can take it now or offline. Thank you so much. Well, Mrugesh will be around here for a while. And then there is Farhan from MyOperator as well, who is here. So if you have any questions for MyOperator or how Yellow.ai can help your organizations, please feel free to ask them. Thank you.
Thank you.